So the pictures of this lady have been trending all the way, yesterday, today, and it caused me to go and check exactly what an interview was like. Why did I want to point to this? I wanted to use this to show you points of authority. Okay, points of authority. So let's say a person in the law, a preacher, a Christian. Their point of authorities, so their approach to their point of authority tells you, okay, their way they approach their point of authority, it tells you whether you should listen to them going further.
Today was none other than Dr. Imogen Mashazi. She is implicated and has a lot of explaining to do around everything that was happening in the Ekurhuleni Metro and in the Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department in particular, as it pertains to the agreements to get those blue lights, as it pertains to another agreement which was entered into with Medicare 24 Tshwane District, right, with the Ekurhuleni Medical Services. So she has a lot of explaining to do because she is implicated in all of the shenanigans. Take a look at how she was behaving.
Is that your statement to the commission?
Can you repeat your statement?
You can't, we can't, because you are looking at your phone and you are reading something on your phone. So naturally you will miss many of the things that I say. So we're going to have to make a decision how we run this. You are either with the commission and you are testifying before the commission, or you'd like some time to attend to your phone.
I'm trying to get information from my phone.
No, if you need time to get information, kindly address yourself to the commission and request the time, and the time shall be given to you.
Asking you a direct question. Do you say it as a fact that Colonel Tipper had an improper relationship with Chief Mapieye, and in particular, and maybe let me put it as specific as what I think you're suggesting, she had a sexual relationship with Chief Mapieye? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
And you have evidence of that you will include in your supplementary statement?
Evidence of them having an affair. Did you ask for evidence from Olani?
No.
Ma'am, did you ask evidence from Nweza when he said, I have extramural activities with Mkwanas?
I'm asking you the question. You don't ask me questions.
At one point, they literally have to just tell her, can you please be quiet? Let me instruct you on what to answer and how to present your answer. Don't ask me questions. These are the questions I'm giving you. And so basically, she shows she has no viewpoint of protocol. Like, she does not have any. Okay, now we take that, we apply it to some of these mandams that you see out here in the church space. Some of them, they have no hermeneutics in their approach. They don't care what. They sit there browsing their phone when you are quoting the verse and then want to answer without actually hearing the context of the verse. Why? They have a poor approach to the Bible. And so when you watch people like that, when you watch people who have such a poor approach to the Bible, the approach will tell you whether the person should even be listened to. Some people have a poor approach to the Bible. Why? Because they don't know the Bible. They don't know the context. So they think, you know those people that read one verse and think they dismiss an entire argument. It's a baby mindset. It's a baby Christian mindset. Because they have never studied enough to know the complexities of being able to communicate in its depth whatever doctrine they are talking. And they don't care to. All they think about is that one verse that they remember. They're going to trap you, or why? Because they have no respect to how they approach the Bible.
To take that iPad report to our investigation, we appointed an independent investigator through the internal audit, and the report was out. We'll share the report with you. so that you can start disciplining people. So from that report, the acting chief of police has done nothing wrong. He's cleared. So IPAD, they can go ahead if they want to arrest him, if they think he is wrong, because they are police officers. But from our side, in terms of the DC and investigation, there's nothing wrong that the acting chief of police has done. He's been cleared by our report, and for as long as there's nothing that they're doing from their side, if they believe that he is wrong, there's nothing I can do as an accounting officer. He reports to me. Even the chief of police, who is on suspension, he reports to me. If there's any wrongdoing from his side, I must do my own investigation, and I must also subject that person to a DC. I can't subject my officers to a DC based on a report that I myself do not understand. Because
She sounds very sure.
My first is that you indicate in that interview that Brigadier Mkwanazi did nothing wrong. You say he was cleared by the report, and you reference an internal audit report that cleared him. Did I understand you correctly? Dr. Mashazi?
Exactly, I'm listening.
Did I?
Look at the arrogance. The commissioner is asking a question. Did I understand you correctly? Instead of saying yes or no, she says, I'm listening. No, you're not listening. You were asked a question.
Did I understand you correctly? Dr. Mashazi?
Exactly.
You see, this person is analyzing you. She's having a conversation with you without answering you. So she doesn't realize it's a question. No. There's in her head, she's thinking, whatever she's thinking, only God knows what that is. And then she's thinking, this person, look at this person. That's why I'm not responding. She's just belittling as she's sitting there looking. When you pose certain truths pertaining what the scripture is saying, they avoid answering pertaining that verse. Like, for instance, people who make a big deal out of the Sabbath and say people should go to church on the Sabbath, they always avoid all the New Testament verses. They will go to the verses where Jesus went to the temple on the Sabbath, but they will never look at the verses where Paul says these laws, particularly the ones which pertain to what you should eat and what days of worship you should choose. Paul says, let each man do as he is convicted. It's that look that you see from this lady right here. Continue.
I'm listening.
Did I understand you correctly?
Yes, ma'am.
What internal audit report is this?
The internal report, remember I said I referred the report to HOD Legal.
Yeah, so she is not the person. When it comes to legal matters, she must refer it somewhere, she gets advice, and then she speaks. But when she speaks there, she speaks at by the way, here, she then completely flips to say, no, there was some wrong. But then she said in the internal audit, there was nothing wrong. They appointed a person to think, and so you see, the person, now we are back to application. They become dismissive of things they can't answer. So if there's anything they can't answer, they just become dismissive and they start repeating things they have said maybe 100 times. So here she starts repeating what she said. Now, I thought this was very interesting how Jamie actually references this particular thing that was happening here.
Out in the interviews, whether it's Brown Mkhotsi, now it's Dr. Imogen Mashazi, who else was doing lots of interviews where they implicated themselves? Shadrach Sibia is one of the people. Stop doing interviews where you know your story is not going to add up in a real body where they examine evidence. So you could tell that the commissioners were not buying the story that she was selling, and that when she was saying, the report is vague, I've cleared him, etc., etc., that's what she really believed. When she did not feel under pressure of legal consequences for her actions, she was quite very, very eager to tell people what she thought and where she stood on the issue.
Notice, there are people who are willing to speak. Application. For those who are not from this channel, they'll be shocked. What's going on? We take everyday matters and use them for application in how a Christian lives everyday life. You see, Jamie says something that's very important there. Until they are brought to a point of authority, to their point of authority. So this lady, because she's dealing with the law and so forth, so as long as there was no legal consequences, she was willing to say anything, whatever she believes. But now when she's pressed, she's busy dizzle-dazzling and going all about whatnots, and I'm not sure, no, I will have to refer back, I have to check, and what, you know. But when they don't deem any consequences to being questioned about what they say, they are very bold at speaking. This goes back to our dear fellow people over there. When they teach the Bible, in areas where they don't think they will be questioned, they speak very boldly. It's only when you press them on that issue that now they need to check, they need to go back. Why? Their mannerism in how they approach the scripture should have told you this person has no understanding of approaching the scripture with their hermeneutics in order. How you break down scriptures, how you understand a verse, how you make sense of what the scripture is saying. The way they approach the scripture would have told you. The same way this lady, the way she approaches the law, if there is no consequences, she can say whatever she believes. Yeah, no, I didn't see anything wrong. Now, when there is consequences and she's been questioned, she doesn't know now. She's willing to deal that. If you go back and you watch Jamie's video, it's a very interesting one. How she dances around. She even gets annoyed with them and whatnot. So some people's annoyance has nothing to do with the fact that maybe you are not answering their question or anything. No, it's that your answers don't go where they want you to go. You've seen people like that. You answer something that because now what you answer does not line up with what they are saying, it causes them to have a certain reaction. That's what you see here. Be very careful when you see a model of approach to the Bible that can be deemed as unbiblical or uneducated when it comes to how the scriptures unfold in a certain matter, when it comes to forgiveness of sin, when it comes to heaven and hell, visions and dreams, when it comes to the end time eschatology, when it comes to fellowship, when it comes to fellowship with God, when it comes to our relationship with God, when it comes to who Jesus is, when it comes to all these things, if a person lacks a diligent approach, be very careful with such a person. Their approach, you see the way this lady, she doesn't care. At one point she was there busy pressing her phone, and they had to call her out for it and said, hey, you are busy with your phone there. When we ask questions, you say you didn't hear them. And so their approach to subject matters of their authority, the law for her, the Bible for us, their approach to that authority, because remember, we speak on the authority of what the scripture says. She, as a person in the law, she should speak with the authority of what the law says. But the approach will tell you they are dismissive, they don't care for the details. You say this, they will shrug it aside because they are upholding this. Now, when the authority point come in thingy, when the consequences for lying, when the consequences for saying things that were not truthful, when that comes into play, dealing with people who are talking about the Bible. Some people, like you are taking a lesson from Apong. How are you taking a lesson from Apong? The man attacks the Bible while trying to teach you the Bible. So what kind of a teaching are you hearing? The approach tells you whether you can listen to them or not. Structure show the daily Christian commentary videos. Other episodes done today, they'll be down. The pin comments and check you out over there.